We begin our discussion on data visualization with an example, a very popular example, guys, known as the Anscombe's Quartet. The Anscombe's Quartet tells us about the importance of seeing your data. So this came from, actually, this was written by Tufte, uh, who I would say is one of the pillars of data visualization. He wrote this in 1983, and he has this journal on graphs and statistical analysis. Sorry, so this is Anscombe. Uh, Tufte is different, guys. Remember the outlier. Sorry, my mistake. That's the wrong person. Okay, so let's go to this Anscombe's Quartet. Anscombe wrote in a journal 4 data sets. So this is X1 and Y1, X2 and Y2, X3 and Y3, X4 and Y4. These are different data sets. But when you compute, guys, so you can see here, I used Excel to compute for the average and for the standard deviation and for the correlation. Okay. Now, what do you notice about the mean, the standard deviation, and the correlation of this group of these pairs of data, 4 pairs of data? You can just sound off, or you can chat, guys. What do you notice about the mean, the standard deviation, and the correlation of the data? Okay, yes, you're correct. They're all the same, no? Practically the same. Some discrepancies in decimal terms, but approximately they're all the same. Okay, so what is Anscombe trying to state here? He says that it can be difficult to demonstrate the importance of data visualization. Some people are of the impression that charts are simply pretty pictures. Okay, while all of the important information can be divined through statistical analysis. So some would say that pictures are nice to have, but they're not really that important. Okay, as we will illustrate here. Okay, uh, we see here that while all okay, an effective and often used tool used to demonstrate that visualizing your data is in fact important is the Anscombe's Quartet. So let's show that here. Let us plot. Let me plot this first data set. Insert line chart. So this is the first plot. It's pretty. It seems to follow a trend, linear trend. Okay. So this has a mean of 9 for the x-axis and 7.5 for the x-axis, and 3.16 standard deviation for x and for y, and then the correlation of the two variables x and y is 0.82. Now let's plot the second pair. Highlight this and then insert. Let's use a scatter plot. Okay. And then let's plot the third pair. Insert once again, scatter plot. And then finally the fourth pair. And just to highlight them, to magnify the font, let me delete the grid line so that we can see the okay. Now you can see, guys, that this these four pairs of ordered pairs are quite different from each other. So yung first pair natin, it looks like this one. The second pair has this shape. The third has this one, and the fourth has this one. So they're not really the same, and yet they have the same mean and standard deviation, and even the same correlation. So Anscombe was illustrating here that it's not enough just to do the statistics of it. Statistics are important. Statistical measures are important. However, it does not tell us the whole story. Here we would have guessed maybe that that these four pairs of numbers look alike, but they don't. They're really far from each other. So the moral here is that it's important to also plot the data so that we can have a better grasp, better understanding of what the data looks like. Let's take a look at this. Okay, this one was created by Alberto Cairo, the Datasaurus dozen, a dozen of pairs. Okay, and he was saying that he created the Datasaurus dataset to urge people to never trust summary statistics alone. So when you say summary statistics, it's the same. You have the mean, okay, the mean, standard deviation, variance, correlation, slope, and the intercept. Okay, I will leave this, guys. Okay, so let me just solve one. Oops, it should be C. C. Okay, I'll just show the first two. And you notice that they're practically the same. And so with the standard deviation, variance, etc. Okay, so I leave you as an exercise to do this, guys, to look at these measures, and you'll find that they're the same. Okay, for correlation, it's equal to correlation between the first pair. Okay, correlation So correlation between C3 up to C144 and D3 up to D144, okay, they're negatively correlated, negative 0.06. And if I copy the formula here, okay, taken to two decimal places, guys. Okay, maybe 3 decimal places. Okay, just wanted to illustrate that they're almost the same, practically the same, negative 0.06 difference of a few decimal places. Okay, but again, when we plot this, okay, for example, let's plot this. Let's not include the okay, wait. Just like what we did a while ago, insert. So for the first pair, it looks like this. The two data seems to be going away from each other. Okay, so this was the data set created by Alberto Cairo. This is the first pair. And then you have the second pair, horizontal lines. So let me once again highlight this, insert, okay, horizontal lines. Okay, now it's just to illustrate that even if their statistics, their descriptive statistics are the same, are practically the same, yet it tells us that how they look like are so much different from each other. So another example here. So this looks like an X. Okay, so this looks like the shape of an X, and etc. Guys, you can, okay, a few more. So this looks like a star. Huh? Credit this to Cairo, who came up with this data set. Okay, so what's the story behind this, guys? What's the moral here? You have several data sets. They have the same descriptive statistics, and yet they look so different from each other. So different from each other. So a few more examples. Insert. If you increase this a bit, to look like the bullseye. Okay, now I'll give you 1 minute, guys. How about this? The last data set. Could you kindly plot the last data set, guys, and please chat what that last data set looks like? Yeah, okay, very good. So I think you got it, guys. If we plot this, yeah, cool, no, guys? Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it looks like a dinosaur. No? So imagine, guys, these different shapes of data have the same mean, standard deviation, variance, and even correlation, the same correlation among the two variables. So what does this tell us? It's not enough that we just rely on statistical measures to understand your data. Never trust summary statistics alone. Always visualize your data. Okay? Since while data exhibits normal seeming statistics, plotting the data reveals different pictures, particularly that of as I mentioned, a dinosaur here. So he called this the Datasaurus 2012 data sets. All in all, same, practically the same summary statistics, but different behavior of the data, different illustrations. Okay, so I hope this is a good introduction on the importance of data visualization. So in the next few sessions, we're going to make use of R, of course, and a very powerful package called ggplot2 in studying data visualization. All right. So let's go to the R markdown which I shared with you. Okay, and then I asked you to download or install the packages that we're going to use in the next few weeks. Okay, NYC flights, ggplot2, of course, dplyr. Okay. Now I think before now let's also include. Sorry, I forgot to put this. Install that packages. Tidyverse. I think we discussed this already before, or maybe I'm not sure if we downloaded it, but just include it. Tidyverse actually includes ggplot2 dplyr, but let's anyway install that if you haven't installed that. And there's another one, guys, which I think I failed to include. So kindly include below here summary tools. Okay, so there are quite a number of packages here. dplyr, gapminder, cable extra, readr, patchwork, scale, stringr, skimr, psych, smart EDA, metan, and then summary tools. And these are just examples of the packages that we're going to use, the functionalities of of them. So as your one of your requirements, but not of course not to be collected. I'd like you to at least know what these packages are all about. What are their functionalities? What can they do? Okay, so we start with ggplot2 today, and also dplyr. Okay, in the course of this discussion on data visualization, we're going to use dplyr, which actually is our next topic. Okay, data wrangling, data manipulation. But it's good already to start learning about the power of dplyr. We're going to see its use in a while. Okay, so I hope you have you have uploaded this. Kindly just include tidyverse, and then also summary tools. Okay, and then may I request you to require these packages so that we'll be able to use them. So I have already done that, so I won't do it anymore. Okay, if you're done, guys, with the requiring the packages, kindly chat yes so that I may proceed. Okay, good. Okay, thank you, guys. Okay, the rest okay na ba? Uh, siguro hindi pa complete to. Okay. Guys, excuse me, let me just quickly answer this. Okay, hello. Hello. Hey, can you hear me, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so let's continue. Okay, this is just a brief summary of what this subject is all about. This is all about the grammar of graphics. Okay, what's a grammar of graphics? Let me just. So the grammar of graphics, guys, as stated here in our notes, it's a theoretical framework. It's how we do data visualization. And ggplot2 as a package makes use of the grammar of graphics. In a nutshell, guys, yung grammar of graphics, it tells us how to uh, create plots. It tells us how to visualize data by means of layering. Okay. The analogy is that in English, we form sentences by combining different elements. So you very well know that in order to construct a sentence, we have to have the subject, predicate, you have verbs, nouns, articles, these parts of speech. Okay, but we don't just combine them in any arbitrary manner. Otherwise, we won't understand, right? There are some rules in grammar that must be followed in order to have a meaningful sentence. In the same manner, guys, ganun din sa grammar of graphics. There's such a thing as linguistic grammar. So there are a set of rules in constructing statistical graphics by combining different types of layers. So ang GG, guys, ang grammar of graphics, it's like layering different layering different uh, parts of your plot. Okay, this grammar was developed by Wilkinson, okay, in 2005, and has been implemented in various software platforms like R and also Tableau. So grammar of graphics, guys, and that's the basis of our package ggplot2. Okay, in a nutshell, yung components ng grammar of graphics na to, okay, tatlong essential components. So meron tayong data, meron tayong aesthetics. Okay. Aesthet is aesthetics. These are attributes of the geometric object. Example, guys, ng aesthetics are si x-axis at saka si y-axis. Okay. Color, shape, and size. So yung aesthetics, guys, it's actually a aesthetic map. Okay? We're trying to map the variables in the data set. Yun ang ibig sabihin ng aesthetics, guys. And the third layer is the geom. Ito na yung object, guys. So you may have the data, you may have the aesthetics, but if you don't have the geom, then you won't have a plot. You may have the aesthetics and the geom, but without the data, what are we plotting? So these three elements are important in order to come up with a plot using the grammar of graphics. In our case, we're using the ggplot2. There are other components as well, okay, but these are the main components. Pwede pang dagdagan ng ibang components yan, such as the facet, the position, etc. There are other more complex components like scales, coordinate systems, but they will not be considered in this course. Importante sa atin, guys, we're able to understand the fundamentals of ggplot2. Then if you want to do advanced studies on grammar of graphics or ggplot2 and other packages, then there are so many references that you may use, guys, in order to improve or enhance your skills or competencies as far as the plotting in R is concerned. Okay. Generally, GG or grammar of graphics allows for a high degree of customization of plots. You'll be surprised how powerful ggplot2 is. Kahit simpleng mga codes lang, guys, madali tayong makakagawa ng mga plots. No? We're going to learn yung 5NG it's called the 5NG. It means the 5 named graphs. Ito yung mga basic graphs, no? Basic plots. But in the course of this subject, we're also going to learn how to plot other plots aside from these 5NGs. So what are these 5NGs? Scatter plots, lines, histograms, box plots, and bar plots. Okay, now let's R has a very powerful cheat sheet for that, going to help, and then cheat sheet. And then here we have your ggplot2, data visualization with ggplot2. Incidentally, you also have data transformation with dplyr, which is our next lesson after ggplot2. Okay, so let's access that. That will automatically open in our PDF. Okay, so this is a cheat sheet for ggplot2. Can you see this, class?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you have tons of practical instructions here on how to create plots. As you can see, guys, there are so many plots that you can use, okay, in ggplot2. And these are just the basics, guys. Okay, if you take a look at the basics, as I mentioned a while ago, ggplot2 is based on the grammar of graphics. The idea that you can build every graph from the same components. So ano yung components yun? May data set ka, may coordinate system ka, ito yung aesthetics natin, and geomes. Ito yung shapes. Ito yung visual marks that represent your data points. So here you have your data, okay, and your geome, your shape, and then your coordinate system, which is your aesthetics, mapping aesthetics to have your plot. Okay, to display values, map variables in the data to visual properties of the geome. Okay? So guys, iba yung yung mapping aesthetics at saka yung geometric aesthetics. Sasabi dito, para makita natin display ng data, kailangan imamap natin yung variables. Saan natin imamap, guys? Doon sa mapping aesthetics natin. We need to map the data in order to generate yung visual properties through the use of the geome. So again, tatlong parts, no? Data, the mapping aesthetics, and the geometric. Okay, yung geometric, guys, may aesthetics din siya. Okay, so we will have examples, of course. Okay, so I just wanted to point this out to you. You can use this as guides when you're plotting your a particular chart using ggplot2. Okay, of course you can have colored colored plots. You can have different shapes and size scales. Okay, so tons of things that you can do with ggplot2. So if you were used to the charting function of Excel, okay, well, this Excel's charting plots used to be well, the most used, but now, guys, with the advent of this packages like ggplot2 using the grammar of graphics, then parang wala nang use yung Excel. And di naman walang use, but its power, its ability to create very colorful and very powerful charts are of no match, guys, to ggplot2. Okay, so let's go back to our lesson here. So you have the 5 named graphs natin: scatter plots, line, histograms, box, and bar plots. Okay. Now, in this subject, we're going to, in this lesson, we're going to make use of the NYC flights package, which we installed. Yun yung una. Okay, so let's access what's available in the New York City flights 13. These are actually flight details in New York City in year 2013. So we're going to use the flights data set from NYC flights 13. Okay, how would we describe the flights data set? Now, generally, guys, we use this, diba? Double question NYC flights 13. I don't know why. If we run this NYC flights 2013, I'm surprised why we're not getting information about it. Could you kindly try to run this, guys? Yung help ni NYC flights. It's taking some time. I'm not getting any results, guys. From your end, do you have information about NYC flights? Oo, well, if you use the yung database flyr, okay. Sige, gawin ko na database flyr. Okay. DB flyr. Wala rin eh. Okay. Anyway, guys, here, pwede, kasi na-install na natin, pwede tayo dito sa packages, and then NYC flights 13. Ay, 13 pala to, sorry. Kaya pala. 13 ba to? Let me see. Wala pa rin. NYC flights 13 sa packages pala. Ito, NYC flights. Okay. Here you can see the documentation of this. Do you see this now, guys? Flights that departed in NYC. So it's from the package. This is NYC flights, the package. And then you have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 data sets that come with this NYC flights. Okay, kita nyo, guys? Okay. All right, so there are 5 data sets here, and we're going to use the flights data set. Later on, we're going to use weather also. Okay, so how do we get, okay, what other data sets are included in NYC flights? I've shown that here. If you, okay, NYC flights, then if we press this, NYC flights, I always forget 13. Okay, if I type the double colon, guys, dito lalabas yung yung mga data sets that come with NYC flights: airlines, airports, flights, planes, and weather. Okay, so we're going to use the flights here. So we can access that by this data flights. So this is a built-in package, built-in data set that comes with the package NYC flights 13. So let's run this. Ayaw pa lumabas. I have to delete this kasi nag-error siya, no? Okay. So let's view it. Okay, so we have here 1 to 13, 1 to 13 of 336, more than 336 rows of data. This is a huge, relatively big data. 336,000 rows of data. And what are the variables here? Okay, so before we look at the variables, let's look at the first 6 elements of our data. Head. Okay, so ito yung first 6 elements natin, yung year, month, day, departure time, scheduled departure time, departure delay, etc. With 13 more variables. So 13 more, ibig sabihin 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 19 variables all in all. Okay. So let's get the names of the variables. Names. So ito yung mga variables na. No? And these are the names of these variables in the flight's data set, data frame. Tingnan nga natin guys yung class. No? Class ng flights. Okay. So what do we have here guys? Anong class siya? What class is this guys? So it's a combination of a table and a data frame. Actually, this is called a table, T-I-B-B-L-E, combination of a table and a data frame. It's quite similar to a data frame, but there are some differences. We have studied data frames, di ba? Ang table medyo iba, no? Medyo iba siya in terms of sa pag-generate ng data at saka sa subset ng data. Okay? We won't go into the details yet about the differences, but suffice it to say that medyo may kaibahan sila, no? May kaibahan ang table at saka ang data frame. A table is actually, let's say, an enhancement of a data frame. Pero I think para sa akin may mga weaknesses ang table na present sa data frame. So it doesn't matter actually. There are sometimes that we have to use data frames. Sometimes it's better to use a table. But we're not going to discuss the details of that at this time. Okay, so we know that we can get the structure of this data set. So as I mentioned to you guys, it's a table. This one, yung sinasabi ko sa inyo guys. It's a table data frame. Okay, it's a combination of a table and a data frame, which is called a table. Table plus data frame. That's called your table. This is, we have the dimension here. Okay, so year, integer siya, guys. Okay, then month, day. Okay. Pag nagta-time series tayo, guys, hindi pa pwedeng yung year, di ba, integer. Kailangan naka-date yan. So we need to do some manipulation here if we are studying time series. Okay, so departure time, kailan umalis, guys? Yung scheduled departure time, nagka-delay ba? For example, ito, it was supposed to leave at 5:15, but it departed at 5:17, so there's a 2-minute delay here. Yung sa ibang cases naman, scheduled departure time 5:45, it left 5:44, so -1, ibig sabihin, negative delay, ibig sabihin, it left ahead of time. Okay, guilty din guys sa arrival time, scheduled arrival time, and arrival delay. Then carrier, yung different airlines, and then yung codes nila, and then the flight number. Okay, then you have here origin, guys, origin. Kasi sa New York, tatlo yung airports nila. You have Newark, you have LaGuardia, and you have JFK, John F. Kennedy Airport. So sa New York City, tatlo yung ano nila, yung terminals, and then destination, ito din yung ano yung airport dun sa destination nila. Airtime, number of minutes it was on air. Distance, I think this is in miles, distance between the two cities. And then yung travel time, hours, minutes, and time hours, which is a POSIX. Naalala nito sa lubricate natin. Okay, so that's the structure of our data. Okay, now it's important also to do summary statistics with the data. We can make use of, sa dplyr, merong glimpse na function. If you run this, so it summarizes pretty much just like the structure, no, yung kanina. Rows, columns, and then it tells us what kind of data, the data type that's included here. So year, integer siya. Okay. So it's not read as a date, no? So ito yung ano yung date and time, time R. Ito. So may mga characters din tayo. May mga character data types tayo. Origin, tail number, carrier. So may mga numeric tayo, etc. All right, so these are ways in order to look at the structure of your data. Now, itong scheme, guys, I like this kasi it gives us yung descriptive statistics. If you run this, yan. It's a good way to summarize. No? So the name is flights, number of rows, number of columns. Okay, yung type, column type frequency, si character, four variables here are character, 14 numeric, at saka isa yung ano yung POSIX, time series siya. And then may summary tayo, sinasummarize niya yung character, carrier, tail number, origin, destination. So you have here some summary. Ganun din guys sa numeric. And what's good here is that pinaplot niya yung histogram ng numeric variable natin. Okay, so if you look at this, no, may histogram siyang binibigay. And then lastly, yung POSIX natin. So 19 variables all in all, 336,000 plus observations. Okay, any questions about this, guys? Kasi later on, when we do some more modeling, it's important for us to know how to generate yung descriptive statistics. No? Ano ba yung mga descriptive statistics dito? Okay, not so much here. Okay, meron pang isa. Let's, lagyan natin dito. Sinuot ko ba dito yung ano? There's another. Okay. This one, let's use the describe. This is from the psych package. Huh? Psych, describe, okay, flights. Okay, I'm writing this so that you know that this came from the psych package. Maraming packages, guys, that give us good uh, descriptive statistics about your data. Let's run this. Okay. All right, as you can see here, guys, ano yung mga descriptive stats na binibigay sa atin ito? Standard deviation, median, trimmed median, mean absolute deviation, mean max range, skew kurtosis, standard error. Okay, so these are some descriptive stats for all the variables that we have. Okay, we can use that. Okay, yung psych describe. Okay, so let me hurry up a bit. Then you have this one. Okay, summary din to, guys, using this is from Smart EDA. Kung galing tong ano na to, no? So, mali, hindi car seats. Flights to. Flights. It's value change lang, guys. This gives us an overview of the data. So just the number, no? Ilan yung ilan yung numeric, ilan lahat yung variables, ilan yung numeric doon, ilan yung character, ilan yung date. Okay, and some percentage of variables having complete cases. So 13 variables complete yung cases nila. Tapos percentage of variables having between 0 and 50% missing cases. May 6. And then percentage of variables having greater than 50, between 50% and 90% missing cases. Wala. So this is very important, guys, if you want to see how many missing cases there are. Kasi pag may missing cases, that has to be dealt with, kailan aayusin yun. And then type 2 naman, it will give us the structure of the data. Okay, saan ako nagkamali dito? Pinasok ba natin yung Smart EDA data, guys? Hindi yata naran to. Okay, so let me run this now. Okay, hindi ko pa pala nare-require yung, yung Smart EDA. Okay, so this is just an overview of the data. Variable name, type, percentage of missing. So makikita natin dito, guys, ilan yung mga missing values. Arrival time, for example, 2% missing. Okay, so that's the structure. Okay, lastly, guys, we can use this. This one is from sa package natin, Metan. Ito. Sorry. ME. Wait. Parang hindi ko pa naran to. Okay, so let's run this. Itong descriptive statistics, data flights, stat is equal to main. Then if we replace this with all, it will give us more than 30, I think, 30 descriptive statistics. May error ako. Nag-run ba sa inyo, guys? Okay. Descriptive stats. Na-install nyo na yung ano? Na-install nyo na ba yung Metan, guys? Nag-ano na siya? Let me see. Okay. Nag-run yung iba sa inyo? O are you answering the question kung nag-install na? Okay. Yung iba, hindi gumagana. Okay. Saan kaya ako nagkamali dito? Check natin yung so if I encounter, guys, problems with with the package, main does not exist. Wait, yung sa main, sandali. Okay, thank you for, tingnan ko sorry, it's, okay, mali. Guys, it's stats, no? Can you see the screen? So ito yung syntax niya, desk stat, this is Metan package. Okay, descriptive statistics using Metan. So desk underscore stat, then dapat stats, hindi stat. Dito ako nagkamali. Okay. So isang letter lang na mali, guys. Hindi na nag-run, ano? Okay. So this should be stats. Stats. Yan. Okay. Okay na to. Stats is equal to main. Okay, good. So when you're having difficulty with with a package, with the function, balikan niyo yung package kasi may mga instructions doon. Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you, guys. No? So let me run that also. All right. So ito, guys, yung descriptive statistics na binigay ni ni Metan. Okay. So you have here, it's a table 14 by 9. Okay. 14. Okay, ang ginawa dito, tinanggal niya raw yung mga NA values, no? So ito yung mga variables, and then I think CV is coefficient of variation, maximum, mean, median, minimum, standard deviation, standard error, confidence interval. If you want, guys, if you want a comprehensive statistics, you can type instead of main yung all. Kasi yung main yung 14 lang eh. 9 lang. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Kulang pa to, no? In order to see everything, we can create an object called DS1 para makita natin lahat. So, mag-create tayo kunya descriptive stat1. Let's create an object. And then, isama natin lahat. Let's run this. Then I'm going to put this in open parentheses. Open and close, Control Enter. Okay, so may DS1 na tayo dito. And then here you have, guys, okay, 32 variables, 32 measures all in all. If we click this, yan. So this is the variable name. Okay, and then you have here so many descriptive statistics. Yan. Okay. You have the my quartile 2.5, quartile 25, quartile 75, Q 97.5, iba't ibang quartiles, no? Okay. This is your IQR, diba? Kurtosis, harmonic mean, geometric mean, okay, etc. So many descriptive statistics. Okay. All right. So let's now okay, ngayon pa tayo magsisimula sa sa ggplot2 natin. It's okay, hindi naman natin to rin-rush, no? Okay, now we're going to make use of the flights data. So we have loaded it already. Ito na yung flights data natin, na-load na natin, ano? Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to plot, use ggplot2. But at the same time, we're going to use dplyr. So we have this pipe operator. Ang tawag dito, guys, pipe operator. This is an operator very much used in dplyr, which means and then. No? Ang ibig sabihin ng ano yan, and then, parang ganon. Parang sa Tagalog, guys, pagkatapos, yun ang ibig sabihin yan. No? Okay, so let's take a look at this. We're going to create an object called Alaska Flights. Okay, tapos saan magagaling siya? It comes from the dataset flights. Take note, guys, naka-load na yung flights natin. So magagamit na natin yan. And then, ano gagawin daw? If i-filter natin. Okay, masyado malaki kasi yung data natin, di ba? 336,000 rows. Pero gagamitin lang natin si AS, no? Alaska Airlines. So the code there is filter, open parentheses, the variable carrier, ito yun, ano? Flights, si carrier ito. No? Yan. So si carrier, the variable carrier, and then equal to AS. Any questions with this code, guys? So first time natin, actually may mga iba sa inyo nag-report na that second week. Nag-report na kayo na gumamit kayo ng pipe operator. No? So we're now formally using this. So flights daw, and then if i-filter natin yon, sino i-filter? Yung carrier mismo, dapat yung AS lang yung kasama. So let's run this. Ano nangyari sa akin? Ano yung carrier? Tama naman to. Guys, nag-run sa inyo? Oops, why? Ba't nag-run sa inyo sa akin hindi? Wala pa si Alaska. Hindi nag-run siya. Hindi, ito nga yun. Okay, sandali ah.
No po, sir. Didn't run din po.
No. Okay. Yung sa iba nag-run ba? Yung yes, ibig sabihin nag-run sa inyo? Yung yes niya ba guys, ibig sabihin nag-run?
Yes po sir, may Alaska flight na pong object na lumabas.
Oh, bakit kaya sa akin hindi? Yung sa iba hindi, no? Dali ah. Let's decipher this. Yung iba okay eh. Alaska flights and so we're using the data set flights and then sandali. Na-install ko na ba? Parang hindi ko pa na-install yata itong mga to ah. Okay, ano ko nga guys, i-require ko muna. Okay, sorry, baka hindi ko pa na-install si dplyr. Okay, yung mga hindi guys nagkakaroon din ng nagkaka-problem. Possible yan guys, hindi pa natin nare-require yung yung dplyr. Siguro kanina kasi rinan ko na to and then close ko ulit tapos inopen ko. So akala ko siguro na run ko na. Check ko lang ulit guys ha. Yan, okay na siya. Okay, those of you who weren't able to run this also, kindly check. Make sure that you have already run your dplyr kasi itong flights na to, itong pipe operate, itong filter guys, sa dplyr galing to, no? This is coming from the dplyr package. So if you haven't installed it, or if you have installed it and yet you have not required it, you have not accessed it through the library function, hindi siya gagana. Katulad ng kanina guys, no? Nag-error sa akin, sabi wala raw yung filter. Okay, so chat ulit guys. Okay na ba? Na-resolve yung problem? Okay, good. Yeah, tama. Thank you, Paul. Okay, yung iba guys yung kanina. Okay, sige. Salamat. Okay, so learning process sa atin yan guys, ano? So we should be able to learn how to decipher or to analyze. Saan kaya tayo nagkamali? So this is one example na hindi natin na-run pa yung library. Tapos pinapara na natin yung function na nanggaling sa dplyr. Mag-error talaga tayo. No? Okay, good. So let's see. So, ano ba yung Alaska flights na to? So the Alaska flights is just a subset of your flights data set. No? Ito lahat yung mga carriers, kung tinan nyo guys, AS lahat yan. Okay. Carriers lahat AS. Kasi sabi natin, si flights dataset, i-filter natin siya, ang isasama lang lahat ng mga Alaska Airlines, AS. Okay, so you have 714 rows of observations. Okay? So same pa rin 19 columns. So we were able to subset, we were able to filter yung flights dataset and come up with another object called Alaska flights. Okay? Alright. So sabi ko nga, may shortcut guys ha. Ano yung shortcut ng pagsulat ng I-delete yung nga to, guys. Delete nyo siya. Kasi di ba matagal isulat yung percent. Tapos greater than percent. You need to press kung shift man sa inyo at least 3 keyboard strikes, no? Pero mas mabilis guys kung Control Shift M. Tuloy-tuloy lang. Control Shift M. Okay. Sa Mac yata pareho din, no? So you try that guys. Control Shift M at the same time. And then you're able to write your, it's called your pipe operator. Bakit siya pipe operator? Ito, no? It's called your pipe operator. Why is it called pipe operator? Because it's like letting your data flow through a pipe. Okay, ibig sabihin, may fini-filter tayo. Yung iba hindi pwedeng pumasok. Ang papasok lang doon, yung depende doon sa gusto nating papasukin doon sa pipe natin. No? Okay, so we now have Alaska flights. Okay, So we're first going to learn scatter plots. Yung scatter plots, guys, it's what we call a bivariate plot. Bakit bivariate plot? Kasi dalawang data dapat ang kailangan, no? Tapos dapat yung data natin dapat dalawang numerical variables. Numerical variables dapat yan. No? They should be numerical variables. Okay. Tapos commonly yung scatter plot na yan. Okay, so take a look at this. Let's start now learning a ggplot2. Okay, so this is the function ggplot2. And then sabi natin tatlong components to, di ba? Yung data, okay, at saka yung aesthetical mapping. Ito. So in this code, guys, dadalawa lang yung ano natin, components natin. Yung data natin at saka yung mapping natin. Mapping natin ng coordinate system. So ggplot, data is equal to Alaska flights, and then mapping is equal to aesthetics. Then we identify yung x-axis natin at saka yung y-axis natin. Now, this can be written as also, or copy this. Ay, mali. Control-C. Okay. Pwedeng hindi na natin i-define yung data is equal to kasi alam na ni R na data yan. No? Tapos yung mapping, pwede nang hindi na rin ilagay. Yan. So pareho lang yan, guys. Ha? Okay? They're the same. So ggplot data is equal to yung data natin, then mapping is equal to yung coordinate system natin. But it's just the same as not using data is equal to kasi understood na ni Aryan, then a stat is equal to this one without using the function mapping. Okay, so let's run this. Pag rinan natin to, ano mangyayari? Okay, you have a plot, guys, na in-identify natin yung y-axis natin, which is arrival delay. Yung y natin daw, arrival delay. Yung x natin, departure delay. Departure delay. Yan. X and y. Okay? Any questions so far, guys? Pakichat nga kung clear tayo so far. Okay, good. Okay, so if we run this, yung second na to, guys, i-close ko muna to. And then if I run this, so exactly the same, no? Exactly the same. Okay, good. Thank you. Okay, so you can choose to use data is equal to and mapping is equal to, or you can just delete them because our ggplot will understand what they are. Okay. Now take note, guys, itong code na to, hindi pa siya magpa-plot kasi wala tayo yung third layer, yung geometric object natin. So let's now add, guys, a geometric, and let's use the geometric point. So you use geometric underscore point in order to plot this. Okay, so what are we telling R? So i-plot niya yung ano, use the Alaska flights data. Gawin niya dun sa Alaska flights, yung X niya, X-axis is departure delay, yung Y is arrival delay. And then make use of geom points. Okay, so let's run this. Okay. So there you have your first ggplot2 plot, no? Okay, any questions so far, guys? So this is your arrival delay, which is your y-axis, departure delay, which is your x-axis. A case in point, guys. Huh? Let me delete the plus here. Pag linagay ko yung plus, guys, sa second line, ano mangyayari? Can you see, guys, what happens? If you try to plot that, where the plus is on the next line, what happens, guys? Yes, it won't run, guys, no? It won't run. So, kasi later on, pwede pa natin lagyan ng layers to, no? Ang kagandahan, guys, ng ggplot2 nga, it makes use of the grammar of graphics. So, any additional plotting characteristic can be added just by using plus. So, magpa-plus lang tayo dito. Tapos, ilalagay mo na yung layers dyan, no? Another layer, another layer, another layer. Okay? So let's answer a few questions here. Run muna natin. So what's the relationship, guys, between departure delay and the departure arrival? Arrival delay and departure arrival. Departure delay and arrival, mali ito, and departure arrival. Arrival. Sorry for that. So what's the difference? What's the relationship between them, guys? Yung arrival delay at saka departure delay. Anyone? Chat or ano relationship nila? There seems to be what? What type of relationship? Pag lumalaki ba si departure delay, lumalaki din si arrival delay? Kasi if that's the relationship, then positive relationship yun. Or pag lumalaki ba si departure delay, lumiliit si direct correlation, okay? Direct correlation can be positive or negative. In this case, it's positive. No? Positive correlation kasi, if you take a look at our plot, habang lumalaki si departure delay, tumataas din si arrival delay. Okay? And that seems to be obvious, no? Kasi syempre pag na-delay yung flight ng 60 minutes, definitely yung arrival delay, malamang mas mataas din. No? A plane that left 1 minute delay most probably will have a smaller arrival delay than a plane that left, let's say, 120 minutes yung delay. Okay, it seems very logical. Okay, nag-warning message ba, guys, yung rinan yung code? Nag-warning message. Ano yung warning message? Yes, correct. No? Ito, no? Ito. Remove niya yung 5 rows containing missing values. Kasi hindi niya pwedeng i-plot yan kung may mga missing values siya. Thank you. Correct. That's correct, guys. Automatic ni R, remove yung mga missing values. So this is informing us that there are missing values as far as departure delay and arrival delay is concerned. And automatically, R remove that in its plot. How about, guys, yung clustering of the data? Ano ibig sabihin yan? Nagka-cluster siya dito, no? It means that there were many flights that were what? Either on time, no? Kasi nagka-cluster sila dito sa 00, or many flights also departed ahead of time. Kasi yung departure delay niya negative. Eh. Ano ibig sabihin ng departure delay na negative? Ibig sabihin, advance pa yung ano niya. So a great concentration of the data, mas marami dito ang nag-concentrate yung data. Unfortunately, guys, ang problem nito, hindi natin talaga makita yung yung layering niya. Kasi nga it already was plotted one on top of the other, no? Okay, so we answered this. What do you think Why do you think there is a cluster of points around 0, 0? Well, it simply means that yung majority of the flights either left on time and arrived on time, and also there were quite a number of flights that departed ahead of time and thus arrived ahead of time also. Kasi negative na yung mga ano nila. Pag negative yung departure delay, ibig sabihin, hindi siya na-delay. In fact, mas nauna siyang umalis. Okay. Now what about guys kung ito yung gagamitin natin? Ito. Yung smooth na to. So let's just run this. Okay. So we changed the type of plot, no? Hindi na geom point. We use already geom smooth. And we have a different plot here. So what I'm trying to illustrate here is that by changing the layer of the geometric object, nababago yung plot natin. Okay? So I will not discuss, guys, what regression to, no? Ang tinatawag na lower regression. Okay, so we're not going to discuss that yet. What I wanted to show here or illustrate here, guys, is that by changing the geometric object, of course, you change the plot. Okay? Okay, this one I discussed a while ago. Yung plus, pag andi dito sa beginning of the line, nag-error tayo niyan. Okay. Oops, time na pala, no? Okay, so, all right. So we're going to continue this next meeting, guys. May I suggest that you look at this? Medyo i-advance nyo ng konti, guys, para makita nyo ano ba yung alpha na to. No? Okay, ginagamit ito sa transparency. Tapos ano pa ba itong, meron tayo dito na jittering. No? Para saan ba yung jittering na yan? Okay, that and the other types of geometric objects, guys, we're going to discuss on this coming Wednesday. All right? Any questions? If none,
None,
guys,
sir.
okay. Thank you so much. Yung mga magpapa-attendance, kindly just stay behind. Okay. Thank you, guys. Salamat.